Hello, welcome to Mindful Yoga. Today we have as our themes the knees and bringing some stability to the knees through stabilizing and strengthening the muscles of the thighs and bringing the weight down from the knees straight into the center of the ankles and the center balanced feet. Our second theme is seeds, nourishing beginnings. Excuse me. Find a seat now where you're in touch with the floor. Knees, knees or feet touching the floor. Sits bones heavy down towards the earth. Lifting up through the spine, up through the crown. Bring your attention to the diaphragm that connects all around the bottom of the rib cage. Take any collapse out of your backbone and your sacrum and lumbar spine behind the waist, making sure there's no compression there, allowing the side and the back of the lower ribs to expand as you inhale. Just expanding and inhaling a few times, letting the lower ribs expand on the back and side. Nourishing this most important beginning of breathing. And bring your attention to your sternum. The diaphragm connects at the bottom of the sternum. Extend from the bottom of the sternum up through the collarbone. Relax down with the shoulders. Tuck the chin slightly, ramp the head back slightly. Let the breath expand the lower ribs on the side and back. And continue up through the thorax, expanding the sides of the upper ribs out under the armpits. Let's take 7 breaths like this, unimpeded, complete breaths. Breathing is one of the seeds of yoga. Yoga, the uniter, the yoke. Breathing helps us to come into concentration on our breath, on our body. Concentration being another one of the seeds of yoga. Two more breaths. And then let the breath come back to its natural rhythm, checking in with yourselves just as you are, no judgment. Nourish beginnings. In this new year, let us nourish beginnings. Not all things are blessed, but the seeds of all things are blessed. The blessing is in the seed. We'll say 3 ohms. The seed of the ohm being in the ah. It's really ah, oo, So 3 times, inhale. Ah. Let your arms come along the side. Inhale, fully As the arms rise, big sun breath, palms come together over the heads, and exhale down the midline through the heart. 2 more times. And the last time, as you come down through midline, let the hands come to the heart, the thumbs pressed against the breastbone. Imagine there's a seed, a small seed in there between your palms. So small, almost invisible. A whisper of a question, a shadow of hope, a bell not yet rung, a flutter of feeling that something is possible. Listen to this unstruck sound. Then bringing your hands down, open the arms to the back, palms forward, opening up through chest, spine coming, the front of the spine coming forward, back of hands come together, chin comes to chest as the back arches slightly, opening up into the fullness of the heart in the front and in the back. In and out. Let hands come along the side. If you have anything high underneath your self, bring it away now and bring a blanket so that you'll be a little closer to the floor. And you can always be on a chair for this part as well. One hand comes down to plant beside you. The other one reaches up, coming over into a side bend, bringing the arch of the side bend just under the armpit and those side ribs. So the arch of the spine here is in the upper middle spine. Inhale up and exhale up. And one last time like this. Next time, let the hands slide out on the mat so that the side bend you'll feel is coming farther down and the waist is tilting over. This too is a fine side bend, just to be aware of the different parts of the spine that can be affected by side bends. And one last time. And come back through center. Bring arms out to the side, reach out to the walls on either side, from collarbone through elbows, down through wrists and out through fingertips. Then bring one hand across to the opposite thigh, one hand back behind. Just an easy twist, looking to the side. Sits bones resting down. Lengthen the spine, centering up through the spiral of the twist. And spread arms out, come around. Lengthening and centering in the twist. And one last time in each direction. Coming back through center, we're going to do one more twist. Extend one leg out, let the ankle be flexed. Other foot comes out up by the thigh, may cross over, hand to the outer knee or forearm, other hand comes back behind. Down through the sits bones, up through the crown, long in the spine. Inhale and exhale around in the lower ribs. Inhale up, exhale round, higher ribs. Just about 70%. Inhale up and exhale round with the chin and the shoulders. Centering up the spine with breath and energy. Release and come round. Have the sun in my eyes. Wonderful. Other leg extends out, flex the ankle. Other foot comes up, might come over. Wrap that knee. Inhale up. Exhale round lower ribs. Inhale up. Exhale round upper ribs. Inhale up. And exhale round shoulders and neck. Expand into your breath as much as is possible. One last breath. And come round. Bring the feet wide and the hands supporting you behind. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side, opening up through the hips. Maybe we're all a little rusty. So oiling up our joints with that synovial fluid, that thin gel-like substance that hydrates and warms the joints as we move, but we have to move. And then bringing the other hand around towards the opposite corner and hands increasing the twist round, creating a momentum. Just let it feel good. Always modifying anything that doesn't feel good, any pain, back off from it. And this time we'll come down onto our hands and forearms. Head might come to the backs of the hands. Or if you need to stay up on your hands, that's fine too. Nice full body twist. Coming back to that seed that is growing within you. Inhale up, come around to the other side. And rise up to the center. So today we're talking about knees and centering the knees over the ankle. But it's important to remember that the seed of the knees is in the feet. So the feet themselves need to be centered. The weight comes down the tibia into the center to outside heel, and then comes a little bit diagonal across towards the big toe. First, those first three toes and first three metatarsals are the weight-bearing toes. And the fourth and fifth toes do not bear so much weight. Just adjusting the light here. Bring your hands up the shin bone. Feel that slight outcropping just under the knee. And bring your thumbs around the patella or kneecap. So I'm making a kind of triangle there with the tips of my forefingers coming down to the shin bone and the thumbs up around the patella. And that triangle, in that triangle, the length of the forefingers should be about the same. And as I've said, they are not on mine and they might not be on yours, but that's our aim. So if they are equal, then that reflects that you're getting that very strong weight-bearing energy coming down straight into the middle ankle. So coming to the other foot, feeling the foot, that seed of the strength of the knee, feeling the mid to outer heel across to the three metatarsals and the first three toes, that weight coming down through the tibia. And then bringing your thumbs around the kneecap and forefingers finding that outcropping at the top of towards the top of the shin bone. For me, I'm much more equal on this side. So let's stand up here for a moment And be thinking about our knees as we come into mountain pose. Your feet are directly under your hips. Close your eyes so that you can bring your mind's eye down into the center of the heel and out towards the outside of the heel. That heel bone is actually a little laterally located towards the sides. So we're really in the middle of that bone. It feels like we're going out to the edges. And feel the weight coming, the big toe planted, second and third toe planted, the weight strong and centered and balanced in the feet. Then bringing the mind's eye up to the knee, feel the energy coming from knee straight down into the center of the ankle bone. Arches are lifted when we have this centered and balanced way of standing. Now allow the arch to go down. Let your feet come in towards the inner part of your feet and arch and heel. And notice how your knees also come in and the thigh muscles are not able to do so much. Now bring the feet back, lifting the arch, coming into that center heel to first three toes posture. And you can notice that you're able to engage the muscles of your thighs much better. Inhale as arms reach out, maintaining the feet, come up and down through center, coming back to that tiny seed for just a moment. That seed thirsty for water and hungry for the dark, rich soil of the heart. 2 breaths here. Letting the hands come down. If you have a block or some kind of Tupperware or maybe a pillow, put that between your thighs now and hold that together with your thighs. Notice that that encourages your knees to be straight above your ankles. And so we're not going to walk around always with the thigh block between our thighs, but we can do this to correct the habits that have formed in our knees and feet. So pressing that between the thighs and then bending the knees slightly, bringing arms up. Inhale and exhale, straighten the legs and bring the arms back and forth. And you don't have to go back far. Let the hips reach out in the back. Go down only as far as it works for your knees and that you can sustain the lifted arches and the planted first 3 toes. 5 more times. We do this gradually. So we might only go down an inch or 2 now. In another month, we might go down 1 more inch. Very gradual changing of habitual ways. One of the seeds of yoga is self-study. And we often think of self-study of the mind, but it's also self-study of the body and changing those habit patterns of the body just ever so slowly and bring it down. I think I did more than 5. To take that block out, come back to your feet and feel once again, that centered way of standing with your feet, hips right above. Bring your weight into one foot. Feel the muscles of the thigh engage, arches lifted. Hands might come to the hips, come up on the toe on the other side. Then lift that knee, challenging yourself to keep that centered, balanced foot. The centered knee is firm but soft. One more time, lifting the knee. Then turn, open the knee, bring the heel towards the ankle, And find your place there, find your centered, balanced foot and knee position, dynamic through the muscles of the leg. And then challenge yourself if you would like to bring the foot up against the calf, wobbling back towards that centered position as you wobble in your foot. And if you'd like, bring your foot up all the way to the thigh. Not sure it's going to work for me today. Let's see. Challenging, playing with that balance on the foot and the knee. And bring it down. Now bring the weight into the other foot. Mind's eye going into the center to outer heel and the first 3 toes. Feeling the knee directly above the ankle, firm but soft, up on the toes of the other foot. Lifting that knee for 3, 2, and 1. And then opening the knee, bringing the heel against the ankle, and always free to use some chair or sofa to give you some support. Finding, sustaining that centered balance, coming up onto the calf with whatever wobble is in the foot, keeping the big toe planted, coming back to that balanced place. And if you want to try the higher place, feel free. So this is something we'll be playing with and developing over the next weeks. Now we're going to come down to the mat, lying down. And in this next part, we'll be strengthening those muscles of the front and back thigh, the side thighs, and the glutes, which are all important to stabilizing the knee. As we come down to the mat, lift up one arm and the other hand can take that wrist and pull up as the foot of that leg, that side goes down. Take a nice long stretch. And then the other side pulling up and pushing down. Now bring the knees bent over the knees bent over the hips, sorry. Raise the head and shoulders, fingers come to the outside of the back of the skull. One leg extends out, the other one comes up. Find the seed of this yoga movement. The seed in the pelvic floor that is drawing up the muscles in the lower abdomen that are toning. 3, 2, and 1, and bring it up. Let the head come back. Take the fingers and give a little massage under the back of the skull, relaxing through the jaw and the cheeks. And then hugging the knees in. If you would like, bring chin or nose up towards the knees, and then come back. Relax. Might rise once again, and come back. Then bring the knees to the armpits, feet rise, opening, just like a baby. Maybe pushing up with one foot and pushing up with the other, back and forth a few times. Now bring the legs straight up above you. Arms are out from the shoulders horizontally. One leg slowly makes its way down to the mat. And slowly you bring it back up. Muscles strengthening. And then the other leg slowly coming down. Backs of thighs, fronts of thighs. Abdominal muscles becoming a little stronger. And then both feet come down. Bend the knees if you need to at the bottom, always adapting to what your body needs. As you lie here, bring your arms along the sides of your body and bring your attention to your glutes. We're going to squeeze our buttocks, squeeze the glutes, and let them go. Squeeze and let them go. And continue that a few more times. As we lie on our backs, that can be a very obvious movement. And you can get the feeling of engaging your glutes. Another important muscle, especially the gluteus medius, important to the stability of the knees. Interrupting the line for a moment, get a block or a pillow, or maybe it's your fists between your knees, or maybe you have a Tupperware or something to put between the knees. And we're going to give some exercise to our inner thighs. So we'll squeeze this block. Inhale, 2, 3. Exhale, squeeze, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3. Exhale, squeeze, 2, 3. 2 more times. Now we'll bring our strong inner thighs and our strong glutes to a bridge pose. So tucking in the shoulders, bringing the elbows towards the waist, weight into the soles of the feet as you lift the hips, glutes engaging as your hips rise. Hands might clasp underneath the hips. Take a breath here. And exhale down, relaxing through the glutes. Keep the inner thighs engaged as you lift up once again, glutes engaging as hips rise. Taking a breath and relaxing as glutes come down. Remove that block between your knees, and we're going to roll over onto our sides. Give some support to your head, hand in front of your chest for some support. Knees are slightly bent. And we're going to do what we usually call clams. So this helps to make the glutes stronger. I keep a hand on my upper leg to just add a little bit of resistance there. Lifting up, strengthening glutes and thigh muscles. All contributing to the stability of the knees as long as you stand and walk in a balanced, centered way. It's all dependent on each other. One last time. Then let the hand come down in front of the chest and the head come down onto the elbow. Lift the top leg, legs are extended now. Lift the top leg just 6 inches, 4, 6 inches, and make a small circle going in one direction. The circle can remain small or it might get bigger. Letting your mind concentrate into those areas of the body that are expressing energy around the opposite direction. Last time, and bring that foot down. Come over to the other side. Coming into our clam with bent knees, slightly bent knees. Hand might be on the thigh, and pushing up with that top leg, giving a little resistance perhaps with the hand. Laying down the seeds that will give us knees that will last longer and find good habits. For 3, 2, and 1. Let the head come down, hand in front of the chest, extend the legs, lift the top leg and circle round in one direction. And round the opposite direction. These are movements that you can come back to. Certainly the one where you tighten your glutes and let them go. That's one you can do when you're lying in bed. Bring your leg down to meet the other one and rise up, or even standing in line at the grocery store. And we'll come into a tabletop position. Bring your hands directly under your shoulders and knees directly under your hips. Let the seed of this movement be in the tailbone as it rises and the heart shines forward, and the tailbone then dips down and tucks a bit as the back arches. In this movement, the subtle vibration that stirs you, that sends you in and out, spins you into what you don't know yet. And come back through center. I was going to come down. No, I want to do quads next. So bring your weight into the left hand and weight into the right knee, right leg, sorry, left leg and right arm. Stretch out, stretch, stretch. Then the leg comes down, toe touches the floor in the back and lifts up. So a small movement there with the back leg. Again, exercising those muscles that can bring stability to the knees. One more time. Bring it up. Let's bring the knee and the fist together under the belly just once and extend back out and come back. Weight is in the right hand and the left knee, left arm and right leg. Stretch out, stretch. Back toes come down gently onto the earth, just kissing the earth and lifting up. Two more times. And bring fist and knee under belly, stretch out, and come back to tabletop. Weight through the whole hand, through the balls and fingers as well as the heel, so that the wrists don't get too sore. Inhale one leg up into a fire hydrant as knee lifts. Then stretch that leg back, cross it over to the other side of the opposite leg, and look back at that toes in the back. Now we're going to shift the emphasis a little bit, coming up through hydrant, straight back, over, come over onto the outer sole of the foot, the pinky side of the foot. And then we're going to lift that foot just slightly and bring it down. Come back. I'm switching sides to show you the sides. Fire hydrant, reach back, come across, lift the foot just slightly, and bring it down and around. One last time. Back, across, on the pinky side of the foot, lift and hold for a moment. Bring it down and around. So you perhaps can feel the strengthening that's happening, particularly on the outer side of the hip. Other leg, inhale up into hydrant, reach it back. And just for this first time, bring it across and let your gaze come back. Next time, doing it a little differently, coming into hydrant, reaching back, coming across, let the head remain forward, come onto the pinky side of the foot and raise that whole leg from the hip up just slightly, an inch, and bring it back around. Hydrant, stretch back, over, lift. This is an exercise that I learned through Chris Holmes. Bring it back one more time. Fire hydrant, stretch out, across. And we're going to hold that up for just a moment. He's a body worker and yoga teacher at Kripalu Yoga Institute. And he says this is one you should do again and again. It's quite good for strengthening the body where it needs to be strengthened, for stable legs and knees. Come down into a Sphinx pose, please. Letting go through the hips, shoulder blades, resting down. Some energy coming from elbows up through shoulders and the roof of the mouth. Breathing. Coming back to that seed that you are nourishing. Then let the torso come down, arms come along the side, hands are in towards the body. Lengthen down through the toes, lengthen down through the tailbone as it extends down towards the heels. Crown reaches up, long, long in the spine. Head and shoulders lift, arms follow. Try to keep your kneecaps going toward the floor. For 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. Bring the hands under the cheek for just a moment, and take a few breaths. Then bring the hands either to the sides of the waist or gripping the fingers of one hand with the fingers of the other. Bring it to the back of the waist. Inhale with the hands down. So you bring the hands down below the buttocks or at the bottom of the buttocks. Head and shoulders are raised. Feet are extended out in the back. Here's your inhale. Exhale, hands come up to the back of the waist and knees bend for ha, ha, ha. Inhale, stretch out, hands down, bottom of buttocks. And exhale, ha, ha, ha. Stretch hands and feet down. Inhale. Exhale, ha, ha, ha. 2 more times. This is for strong hamstrings. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. And one more time. Bring your hands around so your cheek can rest down. Trusting the earth to hold you. Then bring the hands under the shoulders, elbows come close to tuck toes. Push up, hips rise, come back over the feet into a down dog. And finding the seeds of your down dog with wide hands and long arms. Shoulder blades coming out towards the sides of the body and a little bit up towards the arms. Long, long spine. Let the knees be quite soft here. Reach back, lots of length. Paddling the heels up and down. And then pausing for a moment, take a breath. Enjoy the ribs being able to move easily in the back of the body, and the sides very open in downward dog. Then coming coming forward into plank, knees up or knee down for 3, 2, and 1. Elbows come in, knees come down, up into a small cobra. One more time, back up into downward dog, stretch back. Leg in the back lifts and comes down. And 2 more times, lifting up, coming down to touch the earth and reach up and down. Find the other leg, modifying this any way that you need to, respecting the range of motion of this body that you inhabit. And then we're going to come down onto knees and we're going to challenge a side plank. So side planks can be done in the way that they're often idealized, or we can come down onto forearm, or we can bring the knee in the middle. So any one of those positions that you'd like to play with, I think I'll do the forearm today. And when you're here, you might try to lift that top leg just slightly. And that's not easy, but it's one more way to strengthen. For 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. And then we'll try the other side. All of this is gradual. It's not going to happen all at once. Find your form of side plank and leg lifting. Challenge yourself if you'd like. 2 more. And bring it down. Take a nice long stretch back into child's pose. Any kind of child's pose you like. You might want your arms reaching out in front, long from fingertips to hips. Or you might want to bring the arms along the side, even curling, arching your back up a bit, chin towards chest. Then coming out of your child's pose, and we'll come to a standing position once again. We're going to do a half camel. So feet are just slightly wider than hip width apart. Bring some attention to your feet. The knees coming straight down towards the middle of the ankles. Weight into the center to outer heels. Cross to the first 3 toes. Firmly planted, muscles engaged in the thigh. Back hand comes down across the buttocks, down the back thigh. Other hand reaches up, reach up through the little finger and bring the gaze towards the forefinger. Come back through middle with the hands. Other hand goes down across buttocks, down the thigh, and the opposite hand reaches up. Back and forth. Synchronizing your breath and your movement. Letting the movement and the breath bring you attention and concentration. One last time. Bring the hands to the sacrum, fingers down, elbows coming towards each other, shoulder blades coming together. Lengthen from the pelvis up through the sternum, little tuck in the chin to protect the neck. And come back up And 2 more times, opening up through the front of the body. Knees are soft, balanced and centered. And come back through center. We're going to do a flow now that will end up in a half moon. So have some kind of something to come to at that point, whether it's a block or a chair or the side of a sofa, or perhaps you do a half moon going down to the floor, but most of us do not. We're going to start facing the chair or block. Bring your mind's eye to your feet. Knees are soft. Weight coming down through those strong thigh muscles, knees down to the center of the ankles. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Bring hands forward, come into downward dog. Inhale up with one leg. Bring it just middle under your belly button. Turn the back foot out to 30 degrees. Hands come back to rub up the leg. Hands come to hips. Bring the feet so that all the toes are forward into a runner's lunge. Hands come below the buttocks, fingers interlaced. Inhale up. Front knee is soft, but the leg is more or less straight. Inhale up and exhale over. And this first time, let the arms just rest along the body. Inhale back up. Exhale over. This time, arms might rise a bit, respecting your shoulders and their range of motion. Inhale back up. Bring the hands round to the front of that front leg. And as the torso comes parallel to the floor, let the hands run down that leg. Belly might come a little closer towards the thigh. Your choice. Coming back up, we're going to bring our weight into the front foot. Arms are along the side, fingers pointing back. Back leg lifts. It might lift 6 inches, 12, or you might become parallel. Head back through toes. Gradually finding your place in warrior 3. Foot comes back, bring hands to the front of the front leg, run down once again, torso parallel, or a little farther down. Inhale up, arms along the side, reaching back. Lift the leg in the back, or leave the toe down for 3, 2, and 1. And bring it down. Now we're coming into triangle. So feet come in to a position where your toes are straight out towards the front of the mat and the back foot is at 30 degrees, and that foot is right behind the other foot. The feet are important seeds of this yoga posture. Feel your heels, feel your toes, feel your knees, strong through the hips. Another area is the hips. So the seed of this hip of the back leg coming back, opening through the chest. Be a beginner here, beginner's mind, as you reach out to the horizon. And windmill, one hand down, one hand up. Feel anew this strength in the ribs underneath the body and the stretch in the muscles along the ribs on the top. Take a breath. Feel the feet. Feel the knees firm and soft, well stabilized. Inhale back up. Bring the hands to the hips. Bring the weight into the front foot. And we're going to bring that front hand down onto chair or block. As the other leg in the back lifts up, you can always leave your hand right along your body with a little lift in the leg, or you can raise the top arm up and point to the opposite wall with your foot radiating out with all your energy from the core of your body out for 3, 2, and 1. And bend the knee and bring it down. We're going to do this all on the other side. So if you want to bring your chair around or your block, so they'll be there for you on the other end. Backing up on your mat as you face your props. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. As you fold down, rearrange your feet. Think of your toes and your heels and that weight coming down from the knees. Walk forward into downward dog. Stretch long. Lift a foot. And bring it through just under your belly button. Turn the back foot to 30 degrees and bring the hands up along that front leg. Hands come behind to clasp at the bottom of the buttocks. Front leg is more or less straight, the soft knee, and all toes are pointing forward. And there's a little space between, horizontally between the feet. So one foot is not behind the other. Inhale up through the crown, exhale over, this time letting the arms be right along the sides, torso comes parallel. Inhale up. Exhale over once again, this time invitation to raise the arms in the back just as far as is healthy for your shoulders. Inhale back up. Now bringing the hands around to the front of that leg, let the hands rub down that leg. Maybe belly comes a little closer to the thigh and bring it back up. Bring the weight forward into the front foot. Foot rises or stays on its toe in the back. Arms are tight along the body, fingers back as your body goes towards a diagonal or a straight line parallel to the earth. Soften the knee, bring it back. Toe touches, foot touches down in the back. Rub hands down that front leg into pyramid. Inhale back up. Arms along the side. Lift up in the back or stay on your toe. Find your place here, wobbling back into that balanced foot, the centered knee, and coming back. Now we're coming into triangle on this side. One foot directly behind the other this time, 30 degrees, and the front toes straight. Feel the feet, the very seeds of this pose, the dynamism coming up through the legs. Hands to the hip creases, hips go back. Important beginning to triangle, opening through the shoulders, reaching towards the horizon, windmilling with the hands, open in the chest, reaching up, reaching down, trusting in those muscles underneath the lower ribs and feeling the stretch in the muscles above. One more breath here. As you unwind, bring the hands down to the waist. The weight comes forward onto the front foot. Hand comes down onto block or a chair. Maybe the toe stays down, maybe it raises a bit, maybe the arm stays along the body or rises. Find your version here. of half moon. Energy radiating out from the core of the body for 3, 2, and 1. Soft in the knee. Come down. Come into a standing position. One hand on the chest, one hand on belly. And just breathe a few times. Letting all that energy swirl around in the body. And we'll come down to end on our mat. Nourishing this beginning that we have started, this seed that we are growing, with a complete letting go of the body, letting go of the mind, the sinking down into earth, soft through the toes and the arch of the foot, the heel, calf, the knees, all the sides of the thighs. There are many muscles, glute muscles puddled down onto the mat, relaxed in the back of the waist and between the shoulder blades. Letting go in the back of the neck, the front of the throat, skull heavy, shoulders relaxed down. Feeling the weight of the arms against the mat and the backs of the hands. The energy in the palms of the hands, quiet, ready. Eyes, nose, tongue, jaw, lips, soft. One more breath. You're coming back into your day, bringing some movement to fingers and toes, turning ankles and wrists, readying for your re-entry. Give your knees a hug. Then once more come to that seed that is growing, the beginning that you are nourishing. And rolling over. We'll end today with 3 Om, joining in our communal feeling, even on Zoom. Sun bright. And remembering the seed is Ah, Ah, U, The 3 times. Inhale. Ah, Namaste. Thanks for the good practice. I hope you all have a good day.